Morning, guys. How we doing this morning? So, what happened overnight, Ray?
It rained out there and we got freezing ice.
Okay.
It's slippery and dog shit out there now.
What are we gonna do, guys? What do we have in our trucks? What are we gonna do?
Neon nails.
Okay. The Neil stance?
Do that again.
No.
Small steps. So you get
Small
that.
steps. Okay. Devices on our trucks.
Chainsaw, sand,
Okay.
cables.
Take away from yesterday morning's lunch.
Seat belts.
Seat belts. Okay. All right. This morning, monthly required training. What did I miss, Brad?
Beginning of the month, probably.
What did I miss?
Who's the most important person in waste management?
We are.
We are.
We're
not important anymore.
Nope.
Fail.
Damn.
Okay, monthly required training, emergency response. Emergencies may be natural or man-made and include the following: floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, toxic gas releases, chemical spills, radiological accidents, explosions, civil disturbances, workplace violence resulting in bodily harm and trauma. We have a lot of that here, Ray?
Let's start.
It couldn't happen.
It's not in that order though.
We got a lot of trauma, right?
No.
Okay, question. What are the most likely emergency scenarios for our site?
Tornado or
Weather related.
Okay. What is the best way to protect yourself and coworkers from any of these emergencies?
have a safe place to go.
Okay. Emergency management is the process of preparing for, responding to, and recovering from an emergency. Emergency management is a dynamic process. Preparing to respond to a hurricane is very different from a fire. Planning is not only the component. Training, conducting drills, testing equipment, and coordinating activities with community resources and local government are other important functions. Our site's emergency preparedness plan, or EPP, covers designated actions you and your site management must take to ensure employee safety and minimize property loss in the event of a fire or other emergency. Can anyone in here tell me where that plan is posted?
Should be on the board.
Okay. Is it there, Joey?
Somewhere. Don't see it.
Should be posted for everybody else.
Okay, that's correct. And yesterday, guys, I had a call where I took a hard lesson. I'm going through this entire site. I'm not gonna say that I'm unable to find those plans, but I'm gonna post every plan that we've got where it's accessible to everybody. There will be copies at Black Duck as well, out in the transfer station as well, and over at the landfill as well, okay? Needs to be brought up to speed, so, and we're working on that right now. Proper planning ensures a proper response and minimizes confusion, injuries, and property damage, recognizing that local situations vary. WM requires each facility to anticipate, plan, train, and drill for potential emergencies. Our plan must include a way to alert employees, including disabled workers, to evacuate or take other action, and how to report emergencies as required. So if we don't have any disabled workers, do we still have to have a plan? Okay. The EPP has specific responses to 4 different types of emergency situations: fire, evacuation, medical emergency, high wind, shelter in place, and natural disaster / severe weather. Each of the 4 emergency responses has an accompanying checklist that covers the following topics: reporting procedures, internal; alert systems, equipment, notifications, external; shutdown procedures, and response teams. Does anybody know where, say, the fuel shutoffs are on the property? Do we have fuel on this property? Okay. Emergency shutoff switches, I know where they are in the back shop. Okay. Do you guys know where they are down on the tipping floor? Okay. Part of the plan will be to show where all that is, because you guys are on the tipping floor, not very much, but you're down there, right?
Stuff could happen while you're down there.
It could.
You need to know where it's at.
It's a good point. You may be the first person to become aware of any emergency situation such as fire, employee injury, or spill. In this case, you will be responsible for reporting the incident. Each site has a procedure for you to report emergencies in your workplace. In a field location such as a landfill or on a route, following our common methods of communication: intercom systems, alarm light systems, radio systems, telephones. What else? Big mouth. CBs, right? Okay. Please, Ray, demonstrate.
You don't want to stand right by the bar. You're not paying attention to it.
Review the reporting procedures for this site.
You know, I call people on the two-way radio
All right,
at the
guys.
landfill all the time, but no one ever calls me back.
I want to lie.
Turn it on.
Get an echo in there, there.
That's a good point. Bob's got an echo chamber. An alerting system is a means of communicating if there is an emergency and what type of emergency it is. It is designed to alert employees connected with your facility, including disabled workers and those not currently inside the facility, such as in a company truck, to evacuate or take other actions. Typical alerting systems are manual, pull box alarms, intercom systems, radio, telephones, whistles, air horns, strobe lights, or similar lighting devices. If you are in an area where natural disaster or severe weather is supposed to strike overnight, you may be instructed to call an emergency hotline set up by your facility to determine whether you need to report to work or check to let someone know you are safe. Review the alerting procedures for this site. You must plan the alert alarm when training employees. This is an OSHA mandate. So what we will do this morning, we're going to do a fire drill, an on-site fire drill. And we'll have some type of an alarm, okay? Each type of emergency response requires different equipment. Everything the response teams need should be on hand and checked every quarter by a response team's leader to ensure that it is in working order. Okay. Do I have a volunteer to be a response team leader?
You're supposed to blow your air horn, aren't you?
Okay, no volunteers? Somebody other than myself.
Oh, Brad.
We won't bring.
Ray would be a good volunteer. Look here, Joe.
All right, emergency response equipment includes alert systems, medical equipment, safe room supplies. Note, get the checklist for each type of emergency response and go through the equipment required. Demonstrate how it is used, if possible, and where it is kept. Emergency contact numbers for specific emergencies are posted in the common areas on the site as well as next to all phones. Are those numbers posted over there? It's got fire department, ambulance, managers' names.
Somewhere, yeah.
Some of us can run like hell, Ray.
Well, let's just roll.
Whatever it takes. You should be aware of these locations, these numbers, and who to contact in the event of emergency. If the surrounding community is in any danger, local authorities will alert the affected portion of the community. In some cases, a representative from your local facility may need to meet with the authorities to discuss the likeliness of the community being harmed. Review the participants. Where is the list posted? Who is on the list? What notifications are required for each type of emergency? All WM facilities use energy such as electricity and natural gas. Some operate machinery that may pose hazards to first responders or cause excessive property damage. A shutdown can be very quick, such as turning off the main power supply to the building, or it may be more time intense, such as preparing for a hurricane. You may also be instructed to drive all rolling stock out of the facility. Do you guys understand what that means? What's rolling stock?
Anything you can move. Equipment, anything we
Vehicles unlocked. You guys leave your vehicles unlocked? Okay.
keys in.
Okay.
But the fire's too tense, get out.
So maybe you guys can help me out since I'm new here. What's WM's policy on parking and how you leave your vehicles while you're in our trucks?
Yeah, leave them at least so many feet apart, so if one catches fire, it doesn't go on to the next one, have to train your
Okay.
action, but burn the ball truck.
How about leaving it unlocked and leaving a set of keys where it's accessible? So if you're not here and you're out in your truck, I can move your vehicle if I have the time if something's going on. Where I came from, that was mandatory. Okay.
So do you want
Is
to
it-
keys
is-
in or?
Well,
we're
is it,
saying keys on
is
board?
that mandatory here? I'm asking you guys. Have you ever heard of it?
I leave my key on my truck.
I didn't know
I
it in there.
make
Because
sure
if you need to move it, or anybody can, they can move it.
Okay.
So keys in truck then?
And you guys want us to be able to do that and save your vehicles, right?
My personal vehicle?
Yes.
Let her burn. I got
I
insurance.
burn my insurance.
Joy, do you know what the policy is on that?
You find about.
For the trucks?
For personal vehicles?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
I just know the trucks was.
Work drives.
I pick up one step in the Aussies anyway, let it go.
Okay. All right, discuss shutdown procedures for each type of emergency and what is involved in your facility. In an emergency, knowing what to do and who to follow can save lives. Seconds can make a difference. You should know who to take direction from and not hesitate to follow directions. Guys, if we don't have a volunteer, what I've done in the past is I just rotate through everybody. Everybody gets a different month, and then everybody understands and knows the program, so. Or I'm fine with somebody volunteering, either way. And I want somebody on each shift, somebody on site and somebody off site, okay? So, and Joey and I are obviously we're on site, Charlene, so those are likely candidates anyway. The incident command structure helps ensure rapid, organized response to an emergency. Both the primary and alternative commander leader will be identified. You may be assigned multiple roles. As each role is discussed, have participants fill in the chart. Bob, you're your own volunteer. To ensure your safe escape in the event of an emergency, an evacuation procedure must be created and posted for each working space in our facility. Each section of our facility must have 3 designated routes of escape. So what would be 3 on this property?
One heading out the doors, be the safe spot, and big garage door.
Our safe spot is the waste management sign out by the scale.
Okay,
It gets to the waste building.
thank you. Okay,
And of course, case of a tornado, right here.
okay. Against this wall?
No, right in that room.
In that room, away from the windows.
Okay. Interior room? Okay. Our facility has a emergency preparedness plan binder available at all times. The binder contains the following information: all response procedure checklists, emergency evacuation plan with muster points, which we just talked about, chain of command, response team chart, shutdown procedures, employee list. What's an employee list when you're talking about emergency response?
Everybody's name is on it, you gotta do a check when you make sure they're all there.
Okay, so
You're not missing somebody.
we're all here, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the building's on fire. Who's the last guy out?
Well, hopefully you.
Okay. Okay.
We don't wanna get, we don't
You
wanna
have
get to the sign,
time,
you're there first.
you have time, and if safe enough, I would shut down any and all switches, electricity, gas, fuel, whatever I can get to. And I would be the last guy off the property, and we would collect where?
Over by the waste management sign by the scale.
Eagles and start a tab. We'll notify Carney of the tragic loss. Ever bring your credit card.
I don't imagine she'll shed any tears, but thank you, Bob. Before we take a tour of our facility to locate things like emergency exits and alarms, we are going to take the quiz. Okay. Ray or Dave, will you grab the quizzes there, please, and pass them around?
Take one down, pass it around the first round. How many beers are left?
Sure.
98.
But I don't.
Write that on your list, right after checking on navigation.
Pay attention.
I am.
We'll talk in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah, we will. I got a hat for you, remember?
You're gonna take 2?
David, you want to use mine?
You don't come prepared, do you? You have to ask your everybody for that?
No,
You don't come prepared.
I have nor the time or the crayons for all you gentlemen to understand what I'm talking about, so.
Can I have one of them out of your pocket?
St. Patty's Day.
That being said, Marv, what are you gonna look out for on the road today?
St. Patty's Day, everybody's wearing green. Drunks.
Drunk leprechauns, right? All right. English version. Emergency response management is the process of preparing for, responding to, and recovering from an emergency. Each Each site has an emergency preparedness plan. There are 7 types of emergency situations. At least, right? Emergency contact numbers for specific emergencies are posted in the common areas and next to all phones. The medical response team is responsible for overall command and control during emergency.
Everybody.
Very good, George. An evacuation procedure must be posted for each working space in our facility. Drills are only necessary for the response team. Our facility has the emergency preparedness plan binder available at all times.